Hello guys, welcome to today's class where we'll be looking at another subtopic under permutation and combination. In the last class we looked at the introduction, which we looked at where we looked at the factorial symbol, and then we explained that the factorial symbol is just a symbol that we actually use to describe values as they recede, that is integers multiplying by other integers as they recede towards 1. So now, using the factorial symbol, we actually make some expressions. We are able to make some mathematical expressions a reality. Now, in the sense of factorial, when we talk about 5 factorial, we say 5 factorial is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. When we say 3 factorial, we say 3 factorial is 3 times 2 times 1. We talked about all those. And then we also talked about the natural factorial, which are 0 factorial and 1 factorial, which we know that both of them have an equal value of 1. Now, we'll be looking at basic operations on how we can actually perform operations using the factorial. So we're taking an example here, an example 1 here. We're looking at operation using the factorial symbol. So we're taking an example here. We have 6 factorial, 2 factorial over 4 factorial. From our idea of factorial, we know when we have 6 factorial, we are counting it down as a whole number. So we have 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So in this case, I can say 6 factorial here is what? 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And then looking at 2 factorial, I know 2 factorial is simply 2 times 1. So for 2 factorial now, I have another 2 times 1. All over, my 4 factorial is 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Because I have this, I can easily cancel out the common factors here, because I know 4 here can divide this successfully without any remainder, giving me 1. 3 here can divide this, 2 into here 1, and then we'll be left with a value of 6 times 5 times 1 times 2 times 1, which when multiplied gives us a round sum of 60. I can say my final answer here is 60. But then, to make things easier, this is actually the answer. Now, I want us to remember and always note that a factorial is not like a variable that we can easily cancel out when we deem fit. No. A factorial is actually just a compact form of a series of multiplications of positive integers. So it is not something you can say 6 factorial over 4 factorial and then you say, oh, factorial cancel factorial. This is a wrong operation. So a factorial is not a variable. It is never a variable, but then it is just a compact form of a particular expansion. Now, in this case, I say my value here gives me 60. Now, in another way I can actually solve this, that is a better way, which will actually be more efficient in solving operations like this, is by using the idea that 6 factorial is 6 times 5 times 4 factorial. Because I know my 6 factorial here can also be written as 6 times 5 times 4 factorial. And then my 2 factorial here is 2 times 1 divided by my 4 factorial here. I will be leaving my 4 factorial here as 4 factorial. Now, why would I be leaving it like this? Now, the aim of this is actually to realize that my 4 factorial here can easily cancel out this. That is because I know my 4 factorial will still give me the same value of 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, which will still cancel each other out consequently. So instead of wasting your time actually analyzing it like this, you can just easily take it out once you have reached the common values. So in this case, I can now say my value here is 6 times 5 times 2 times 1, giving me the same value of 60. So this is just a simple example on operations using the factorial symbol. So we'll be taking another example. We'll be applying the same idea to actually simplify 8 factorial, 5 factorial over 6 factorial. 8 factorial here can easily be expanded as 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. But we don't need to do that. Why? Because we can easily say that instead of breaking it down till we reach 1, we can just say 8 times 7 times 6 factorial, and then we stop here. So as to, because at this point, you can actually cancel out easily with this one. So we stop at that 6, just so we can, because it makes it easier for us than actually expanding it, since we'll still have to divide it by the denominator. So we stop here, and then we know our 5 factorial is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 divided by 6 factorial. 6 factorial here, then we'll now cancel this, and then I'll be left with 8 times 7 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. I know this will give me a round figure of 8 times 7 times 5. So this will give me a round figure of 6,720. Means my value here, my total value here is the value of 6,720. Now you can assume and then look at it, because you need to understand that it is not only one process that we actually use to analyze it. You can pass through a series of processes that is not even just this one. So we need to understand the ambiguity of this question. So when you want to use operations like this, you have 8 factorial, 5 factorial over 6 factorial. Another way you can actually express this is also looking at the 8 factorial and saying 8 factorial times 5 factorial divided by 6 times 5 factorial. Such a way that instead of now breaking down my 8, I can break down my 6 so that I can be able to cancel out my 5 factorial with these 5 factorial. In doing that, I'll be having 5 factorial, which will give me 8 factorial over 6, of which when after expanding and after my expansion, I will still have the same value I had above here, which is still 6,720. In the next class, we'll be looking at more examples on how we can actually analyze this. In the next class, we'll be looking at more examples on how we can actually work on factorial and how we can actually use it to solve questions using this operation, that is, using the factorial even for division, for multiplication. So see you in the next class. Have a nice day.